Have you ever felt totally overwhelmed by something that when you looked at it, it was kind of small? Or snapped at someone you loved when you know they didn't deserve it and then immediately beat yourself up for it? Or maybe just spaced out in the middle of a conversation, like your brain suddenly just fogged over? You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. These are all really common symptoms of nervous system dysregulation. Now, this is actually lesson 2 of an 8-part mini course on understanding and healing your nervous system. So if you missed the first lesson, I highly recommend going back to watch it. It lays the foundation for everything that we're exploring now. And you can find a link to that and to the whole playlist in the description. I'm Jess. I'm a somatic coach, a course creator, and a longtime student and teacher of yoga and meditation. I help people create real, lasting change by helping them reconnect with the wisdom of their body, especially their nervous system. Because here's what I know. Your body has really valuable information for you, and it's been talking to you, speaking to you in its own language this whole time. You may just not have been given the tools to understand it. And this series is here to change that. I truly believe that our nervous system is at the heart of our life, way more than most of us realize. It's the foundation for all the changes that we crave. So whether that's healing old wounds, creating new habits, experiencing more love and connection in our life, or simply living with more ease and authenticity. And that means that it's really powerful and really important for each of us to understand our nervous system better so that we can start to learn to work with it instead of against it, especially if you're someone who wants to heal, change, or grow. So in our last lesson, we laid the groundwork for understanding our nervous system. We talked about 3 core ideas. 1, that dysregulation shows up differently for everyone. 2, we can't think our way out of dysregulation. We have to show our body safety. And 3, regulation is a skill that we can build with practice. And today we're going to go deeper. So let's start here. Nervous system dysregulation, it doesn't have just one look. Some people get anxious and tense, others shut down and go numb. Some feel angry and explosive, others feel like they're disappearing inside. So why does it look so different? Because our nervous system is shaped by our unique life experience, our stressors, our environment, our upbringing. So it's kind of like a fingerprint. No two are exactly alike. So the way that you experience dysregulation might be totally different from how your partner experiences it, or your friend, or your coworker, or me. So there's no right or wrong way to feel it. There's just your way. And the more familiar you can become with your own nervous system patterns, the more power you have to work with them. So this brings us to a really important truth. Awareness is the first step towards change. So none of us can shift what we don't even notice. The more fluent we become in our nervous system's language, the better we get at catching dysregulation early before it spirals. And that kind of awareness, it's not just mental, it's physical. It lives in our body. And this is the beginning of healing, learning to listen to what our body is telling us, not to fix it, not to control it, but to better understand it so that we can work with it. So let's look a little more closely at what dysregulation may look and feel like in real life. There are 5 main states of dysregulation, all of them natural protective states, all of them just an indication that your body's trying to keep you safe. So let's look now at how they often show up with some examples that you might be able to relate to. The first is fight. This is when our system gears up to confront a threat. So we might feel hot, irritated, clenched, or explosive. Our jaw might tighten, our voice sharpens. Little things start to set us off. This is when we start snapping at people. So maybe we snap at someone if they interrupt us, or we feel a surge of rage if someone cuts us off in traffic, or we think someone's rude to us. It's our body saying, stand your ground, push back. And the second stage is flight. This often looks like restlessness, anxiety, or racing thoughts. So we might feel an urge to run or escape, even if there is nothing obvious to run from. So maybe we pace back and forth between a hard conversation, or we bounce from task to task without getting much done. Or maybe we mindlessly scroll our phone because stillness just feels unbearable. It's our body saying, move, get away, escape this discomfort. The third state is freeze. And this is when our system sort of slams on the brakes, but it's not always complete stillness. So freeze can sometimes feel like driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, right, at the same time. So maybe your mind is spinning, racing with thoughts, but your body feels stuck or heavy. Or the opposite, your body kind of keeps moving through the motions of daily life. So you do your work, you do your chores, social events, but inside you feel disconnected, checked out, foggy, or numb. This is often called functional freeze, where some part of us is moving, but we're not really there. So maybe we're sitting at our computer just staring at an email, like not writing it, not starting it, just staring. Or we're in a conversation where someone asks us a question and our brain just kind of goes blank. So it's your body saying, don't move. Maybe this threat will pass if we just stay still. And the fourth state is collapse. And this is a deeper form of freeze where our whole system just sort of powers down. So we might feel emotionally numb, exhausted, or even hopeless, like spending hours in bed, not necessarily because we're sleepy, but because existing just feels heavy. It feels like too much. Our body is saying, I can't. This is too much. Shut it down. And the final state is fawn. And this one often flies under the radar. It looks like people pleasing, over apologizing, or saying yes when every part of us wants to say no. So we keep the peace, we smile, we downplay our needs and our feelings, and we kind of try to stay invisible because it just feels safer that way. It's our body saying, stay small, keep others happy, and that's how you're going to stay safe. And something important to understand is that we might move between these states throughout our day, or we might even feel more than one at once. We might feel anxious and frozen, restless and foggy. Right? It's not weird. That's human. So it is great to understand these states intellectually, but real change only happens when we start to recognize how they live in our body. That's why I created a free downloadable workbook to go along with this mini course. It's designed to help you move from just knowing about these states to actually mapping out your own nervous system patterns. Because when we can see our patterns more clearly, that's when we can start to shift them slowly over time from the inside out. And you can download that workbook for free using the link in the description below. So now that you're learning to recognize these states, you might be wondering, why does this happen so often for me? And other people, they just seem to stay balanced way more effortlessly. So before we go into how to shift these states in video 4, I first want to show you why some nervous systems become more prone to dysregulation than others, and how trauma and chronic stress, they literally change the way that our system responds to life. It's one of the most important pieces of this puzzle, and that's what we're going to explore in the next lesson. Because when we really understand what shaped our patterns, we can start to meet them with more clarity and more compassion. And that gives us way more power to change. This 8-part series is a complete mini course. It's designed to help you understand and heal your nervous system, one step, one layer at a time. So download the workbook and start to explore your own patterns. That's really where the change is. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 nervous system states feels most familiar to you right now? Drop it in the comments below. Your comment, your story, it might help someone else feel more seen too. And if this video resonated with you, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next lesson. And remember, you're not broken, you're patterned, and patterns can change.